Ashley Bontrager of Ember RV.
Hello.
And she's agreed to kindly come on camera and answer a few questions about her experience within the RV industry and the building of the Ember brand. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure.
So, did you have a passion for camping before you signed on to build the RV brand?
Sure. Yeah, so my family, my grandparents actually started Jayco back in 1968. So I grew up in the industry. I mean, from little on up, not only was I in and around Jayco at the manufacturing plants and the offices and all of that, but we did go on camping trips. And we went on camping trips with just like my immediate family, but then we'd also go on big camping trips with all of our cousins and all of that stuff. So I just always enjoyed camping, what it does for a family and just getting away and spending time together. I always found that to be just a refreshing experience growing up. And one of my biggest memories was one year we took a Jayco motorhome out and we went all the way out west in the U.S. So, you know, we the Dakotas and Wyoming and Montana and Colorado, we like hit everything. So that was a really cool experience. So that's kind of my background. I grew up around the industry, also did some camping as I grew up. So after my family sold Jayco, I was just kind of interested in staying involved in the industry. And that's when I decided to start Ember.
Right on. Ooh, you're good. You're good. It's okay. They're an amazing RV. So looking back, is there a memorable moment that ignited your love of camping and sparked your drive to build the Ember brand?
So I think, again, some of those camping trips that I did with my family growing up were just very memorable. For me personally, I always remember ending the night around a campfire and just the stories that you tell and the fun that is had around a campfire was just always near and dear to my heart. So I think just helping families and other people build those memories with their families, I think is really a deep passion of mine, and I think an RV is a great way to do that.
That's fantastic. Can you share with us one unique feature that you brought to the Ember brand and how it helped set you apart in the RV industry?
Yeah, can I share two?
Absolutely.
Because I have to tell you about our Stargazer skylight, because that really was something that I was adamant about putting in. I had seen some inspiration from some Australia campers when we were starting to design our product, and they said, that is fantastic. How do I get it in all of our units? Yeah. So I was pretty adamant about making that part of our unit. The other thing I would say is that if I'm going to put my name behind a product, I want it to be a little better quality than sometimes what is found in the industry. So I am pretty adamant with the team about doing things better, and that's not to say we're going to be perfect, but we certainly try to always improve and do things better.
That makes sense. Fantastic. What is your favorite brand about this specific Ember model?
The one that we're sitting in?
Yeah, the one that we're sitting in right now.
So we're actually sitting in a touring edition, which is something we just launched a few months ago.
Yeah.
I personally love this model. It's a more conventional travel trailer, but it's definitely conventional plus. And right now we're actually sitting in one of the largest models that we build. It's a 28 MBH. And about this model that I love so much, the front bedroom is a Murphy bed setup. So we call it our flex suite because it gives you so many options. So if you have a family but you like to work on the road, you now have a mobile office in the front with a closing door, so you can have privacy if you need to work during the day. You just put your Murphy bed up, you have a sofa with a table you can easily work at. It also has the double over double bunks in the bed. I just think this is a fantastic model for families.
Now that the Ember brand has been around for the launch of 2 different lines of RVs, has the journey to being recognized within the industry been smoother or more challenging than you initially thought it would be?
So that's an interesting question, because I feel like both, and I hate to say that. There's been some things that have just seemed to go our way and have worked, and maybe were smoother than I thought they would be. Starting up at the tail end of the pandemic was not easy. We were hit with a lot of supply chain issues, and then just all the other things that the pandemic brought for the whole world, really, right? So those were unforeseen in some way, even though we were living in it. It's just not something that's obviously a normal year. So definitely a challenging journey, but also so rewarding in so many ways.
Absolutely. Has there been anything about the reception of the Ember brand that has taken you by surprise?
Oh, that's a good one. So I think just in general, people's interest in our brand right from the start has been a little surprising. I thought that it'd take some time to gain some traction, but almost immediately people seemed very interested in what we were doing and our story too. I mean, I think between myself and my 3 other co-founders, our history in the RV industry really drew people in, and then our desire to do things a little bit better, as well as challenge the status quo and provide intentionally designed RVs to the market, was something that people really latched onto. So I think that was maybe the surprising part.
I mean, as soon as we found one near us, we were like, this is what we want. Like, so I can totally see that.
Perfect.
It's neat that was kind of surprising to you as well.
It was. I mean, I thought new brand, new company, it might take some time to get some momentum, but I really feel like almost immediately people were like, show me more, I want to learn more.
Well, like, as soon as we found one, we watched a few videos of one online, and we were like, I think it was Josh the RV nerd, huge, I think, advocate for the brand. And as soon as we watched, we were like, after looking at almost every RV probably on the market, we were like, oh, this is the one. I think it was specifically, we had paused the video on the where all of the water hookups and stuff are.
Oh, yes.
Specifically right there, we paused it, and my husband was like, so what do you think? And at that point we were almost sold. We looked through obviously the entire trailer, and we'd watched a few videos of them, but that was kind of almost the moment where we were like, yeah, I think this is the trailer.
And we've heard that several times, that they see us online and they're like, I have to see it in person, right? I want to go see it, touch and feel it. And then when they do, they're like, okay.
Yeah. So we found the dealership near us, and we were like, hey, this is the unit for us. So we sat in it for a bit, and we're like, this is it. This is the one. Yeah. Yeah. So aside from launching within the pandemic, were there any unexpected challenges that came up when starting the Ember brand? And with your background within the Jayco family, did that help prepare you for that journey?
So I think that my history with the Jayco family is a little bit different than starting a brand new company, right? By the time I came along into the family, the brand and the company of Jayco was already pretty well established. Not to say it didn't have its own challenges and things that, my family had to take care of, but it was a more mature company, and so I saw that side of the business, right? I didn't see it at startup mode.
Absolutely.
But now I always heard my grandmother telling stories about the early days and how hard it was and this and that, and how they didn't necessarily always know what to do. They just knew they had to do something every single day to keep growing this company. And that's really how I feel now. So her and I will talk a lot and swap some stories, and she'll encourage me, and so that's been really great. But as far as challenges aside from the pandemic, I think anybody who's getting into starting any sort of company, you're always going to run into challenges and things that you just have to, you have to make a decision, and you always hope it's the right one. And there's some gut involved in that, and there's also just some common sense, which we like to say here at Ember, right? Use common sense. But I think just the challenge of just in general starting a business and making all these decisions that you've never had to make before, and you just have to go, and you have to have some brains and some guts.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Since we were one of the first owners of an Ember RV in Canada, do you have any questions, or, well, I guess not me, but me and my husband who's not here, but do you have any questions or advice you'd like to share with us?
That's a good one too.
It's just a bit different being north of the border and stuff, where it's a little bit different weather.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think you guys up here, you have a fantastic playground to use our product in, and I think especially, both I think our Touring Edition and our Overland fit here for sure, but I think that our Overland Series provides you all the opportunity to see your amazing country. So I think that's really cool. I personally have not spent too much time in your country. This is my first time being here since I was little, so I'm excited to be back, but I'd love to bring my own Ember here one day and travel around. I think, as you're talking about, it is more north, so you get a little bit more colder weather, a little bit more extreme in some cases than some of our friends down to the south of us here. We I'd say, always take precautions when you're doing colder weather camping. We do design and build our coaches with some of those colder weather camping features. However, it's always smart to take and use precautions.
Absolutely. We do hope you come back and bring your
I can't wait.
Journey around.
I'll look for you to give me some tips and tricks and places to visit.
Please do. So we get a lot of questions from people interested in purchasing an Ember RV from Central Canada and Eastern Canada. Do you have plans to expand your dealership network in Canada to reach those regions?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the biggest hurdles that we faced coming into Canada was we have to have special approval on all of our products. And that process is necessary, but it does take some time. So that's really why we haven't expanded too far into Canada yet. However, I'll tell you that network is growing. So keep your eyes out. We do have some Central and Eastern dealerships that we're able to do business with now, and we'll continue to grow our Canadian market.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share with our Canadian audience? I want to first thank you for the opportunity. It was a pleasure to meet you today and get to chat with you. With the rest of the Canadian audience, I would just say check out our products, check out our brand. We're trying to make a difference in this industry and provide you with camping correct units that are designed and built with intentionality and quality. So we love our friends to the north, and we want to invite more of you into our Ember crew. That concludes our interview for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us and share your insights and everything about the Ember brand. I mean, that you've shared, not everything obviously, but it was great to learn more about the Ember brand and about you yourself. We hope you had a great time, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors and your future expanding within Canada and of course within America and everything, and really wherever you go. Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in. If you have questions or comments, leave them below, and until next time, take care. Safe travels. We get a lot of questions from people interested. Absolutely. I did see him at first.
We're doing the video right in here.
Oh, I was just tapping.
I know. Sorry, I don't want to stop him from telling you all about our coach.
I'm moving away from the window, so sorry.
Sorry. All good.
No, that was what I was saying.
You're not much quieter. Okay, if someone wants to come in, you can let them in, but now I hear you in the front door.
Good luck.
My word, he's
Also, they're amazing front doors. We were wondering if they were full glass.
They are full glass. We wanted them on the Overland Series, but we couldn't get them. They were tied up in what do I want to say?
I totally understand.
Hi there. They were tied up in what do I want to say? Exclusive agreement.
Yeah.
When we first got into their Overland Series, so when we could get them here, we're like, this is awesome.
They are super neat.
Yeah. Cool.